Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Flip Don't Flop. My name is Adrian Donovan, and in this video we're going to be going over the top thrift finds of the past week. We had some pretty darn good finds this past week. We have 11 pairs to go over, and some of them are quite nice. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing, would be very much appreciated. And with that being said guys, let's go ahead and jump in. So first off, we have this pair of men's Justin boots. This is the Whiskey Buffalo model. I paid $20 for these boots. Here in Cincinnati, they usually price Western boots extremely high, so I was surprised that they had these priced at $20, especially from the particular store that I got them from. It wasn't from a Goodwill. It's from like kind of a more local thrift store that's a pretty big thrift store. But yeah, they're a good size 12. They're in really good condition. They don't really have anything to note condition-wise. They're just in overall pretty good condition. I should be able to sell these for $100 pretty easily. I have seen several of these boots sell pretty recently for $100 or $110, somewhere around there. So I definitely feel confident selling these for $100 and seeing them sell pretty quickly. So with that being said, after fees and shipping, we should stand to profit about $60 on this pair of Justin boots. And next up, we have this pair of Allen Edmonds. This is the Wilder model. I've actually never found this model before. It seems like a pretty modern style of Allen Edmonds. Allen Edmonds used to be a really good find. At one point, it almost didn't matter what model it was, but those times have definitely came and passed. I'm actually pretty picky with Allen Edmonds nowadays because a lot of it just kind of sits. But there are like a handful of exceptions. There are some models of Allen Edmonds that sell really well. And this pair in particular, I gave $16 for this pair, which is a pretty darn good deal because it looks like I should be able to pretty easily sell these for, I'd say, $100. So after fees, and these are in excellent condition. It doesn't seem like this pair has been worn more than a couple of times. So whoever had these, yeah, they really took care of them. So after fees and shipping, we should stand to profit about $60 on this pair of Allen Edmonds. We have this pair. I've actually never found one of these before, at least as far as I can remember. This is a collaboration between Converse and John Varvatos. If you have watched any of our online arbitrage unboxing content, you probably have heard of John Varvatos because we do buy it with online arbitrage pretty often. We don't necessarily buy like something like this with online arbitrage. We mainly look for John Varvatos boots because it seems like that's overall the best opportunity. But yeah, they have like some intentional distressing around the toes and around the midsole. I'm not going to try to clean any of that up because that's all meant to be there. They're in good condition. I paid only $6 for these. It's an incredible deal, especially considering it shouldn't be a problem selling these for $80. It may take a bit of patience, but I think $80, they will move pretty quickly. So with that being said, after fees and shipping, we should stand to profit about $55 on this pair of Converse John Varvatos. This is a brand, for one, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce. And secondly, it's a brand that I think we've probably only found it maybe 3 times or something ever since we've been reselling shoes. I don't know if it's Thierry Rabotin, if I had to guess, I'm not sure. It's just a casual wedge loafer. They're in pretty good condition. I got these for quite cheap. We paid $4 for this pair. The comps on this brand are really kind of all over the place, but some of them of similar style have sold quite high, like over $100, but it's not very often, so I'm not going to price them that high because I'm afraid they're going to sit too long. I think instead I'm going to price these at probably $70. So after fees and shipping, we should stand a profit about $50 on this pair. We have this. This is a pair of Beautifeel. I buy Beautifeel most of the time. It does sell really well. And here in Cincinnati, it's usually priced really cheap too. But what makes this pair special is that they're brand new. They've never been worn at all. Can definitely tell they've never been worn. There's no wear to the sole. There is no foot imprint in the footbed. They're definitely brand new. I think we should be able to pretty easily sell these for $80. I saw some little more interesting styles sell for over $100. I expected to sell pretty quickly, especially pricing it at $80, brand new. So after fees and shipping, we should stand a profit about $50 on this pair. Next up is a very interesting find. If you know what this is a pair of Corral boots. I have only found this brand around 5 times, I would say. So as soon as I saw them on the shelf, I knew exactly what they were, because I have actually bought and sold Corral with online arbitrage. I feel like there was a really good opportunity with it like several years ago. It might still be okay now. I haven't really looked it up much anymore. But what makes this pair extra special is that they have genuine python skin on the vamp and genuine python skin right here on the heel. And this pair, it even says right there that it is genuine python skin, so you don't have to guess, but I could tell that it was from our experience with selling exotic skin shoes for the past 5 years or so. I could tell that it was genuine snakeskin. Now with snakeskin, you need to really make sure it's not torn, because it's torn very, very often. I can't tell you how many boots that we have passed up because the snakeskin was torn. I just don't like buying that stuff. Even though you probably could still sell it, and if it was cheap enough, I might consider it. We gave $25 for these, which, considering the style, you can also see they have these crosses all around them, and they also, of course, have some gem embellishments on them as well. They're in pretty good shape, especially the uppers. The uppers are in excellent condition. These should sell for $120. Really no problem. I've seen them sell for that. So after fees and shipping, we should stand a profit about $70 on this pair of Corral boots. Next up, guys, we have another pair of Allen Edmonds. So again, I'm quite picky with Allen Edmonds nowadays because it doesn't sell anywhere nearly as good like it used to. But this one is a bit of an exception. This is a kind of a popular model. This is the University model. So not only that, but also additionally, the colorway is very desirable, like this light brown tan. That color of men's dress shoe we sell extremely, extremely well. And they're also a really good size, 10.5. They have a bit of heel wear, but it's not excessive at all. I paid $20 for these, which is a really good deal because these should sell for $100 pretty easily. I could probably even stretch it to $120. I did see some that sold for over $100, but they don't sell for that much very often. So I'll price it a little bit lower, move it a bit quicker, get our return back faster. After fees and shipping, we should stand a profit about $60 on this pair of men's Allen Edmonds University Oxfords. This isn't a extremely incredible find, but I wanted to include it because it is a good find, but also I want to make everyone aware of this because I find these, at least here in Cincinnati, all of the time. So maybe you will find these as well, or one that's similar. So this is a pair of New Balance, as you can see, but what makes these a bit better is that these are made in the USA. This is the 990 model. This is version 3 of 990. You can tell from like the tag serial number which model it is if it doesn't say on the shoe. So pretty much any New Balance that's made in the USA is going to be a really good find. And they should be worth quite a bit of money. There are a few models that come to mind of New Balance that are made in the USA, but there aren't very many of them. But I would definitely say that 990, this model is the one that I find the most often. And I feel like a lot of people pass it up, so I buy them up all the time. I paid $8 for these, and this pair, they should sell for about $60. There's some of these that sell for very high, depends on the size and the colorway. These aren't really that good of a size, so I'm going to price them a little bit cheaper. So after fees and shipping, we should stand to profit about $40 on this pair of New Balance 990. And next up, guys, is a pair that I got very excited for. So for one, I kind of saw them at a distance, but I knew what they were. Can anyone tell me what this is? So this is a pair of Florsheim Imperial Duality. This is the Kenmore model. And this is a huge bolo, so please pay attention. These are brand new, which is a extremely rare, incredible find. We have only found these brand new 3 times ever in the history of us reselling shoes, which has been like almost 6 years now. What you're looking for is that. It's like a metal plate that's put in the heel, making it to where it's incredibly wear resistant. They are like a really tough grain leather, which is also like really kind of resistant to being worn. Not quite as much as shell cordovan. But grain leather shoes we sell really well. And with these being brand new, it's just such a crazy good find. I think they might have been like an old store model, because it looks like these might have been tried on in the store a time or two. But there's nothing that indicates to me that these have ever been worn outside at all. Looks like maybe somebody tried them on like in the store. But this is definitely not something you find every day at all. And I got them for such a cheap deal. I feel like every time I find these, they have them priced very cheap. Because, I mean, like on the surface, it's just a pair of like old men's dress shoes. Like, who's gonna want these? But these are worth a lot of money. $5.99 was the sticker price. However, these were 25% off. So we paid about $4.50. However, these can sell. These are worth about $300. We sell used ones all of the time for around $150 to $200. It depends heavily on the condition, the size. These aren't the greatest size. They're 8.5, but at least they are 3 wide. But I'm going to price these high and wait because this is like such a special find. They will definitely sell. And usually when we list the Imperial Kenmore V-Cleat shoes, they usually sell like almost immediately. But I will price these a bit higher. I don't mind to wait a couple of days at all. Like, I'm pricing them at $300 because it's such a rare find. So, after fees and shipping, we should stand to profit about $245 on this pair, making these one of the best finds we have ever had. And next up, we have this. This is a pair of women's Fry Jane tall pull-on boots. Paid a bit more for these. Paid $15, which I feel like here in Cincinnati, they price Fry boots really high. However, $15 was not a bad deal at all. Especially considering we should be able to pretty easily sell these for like $80. They are in really, really good condition. That's why I'm asking $80 for them. It really depends with Fry. Like some Fry boots are not worth very much money. And it's really only their boots that it seems like sells that well at all. We have bought and sold like sandals and like sneakers of Fry, but they just do not sell that well compared to boots. There are some brands that they have like certain styles that they are known for, and if you kind of deviate outside of that, you're gonna sit on it sometimes. So after fees and shipping with these Fry boots, we should stand a profit about $45. Now this is a brand that we almost never ever find in the thrift store. If you can read, it's a bit dark. This is a pair of John Fluvog. These are kind of like a gladiator style sandal. We actually buy John Fluvog occasionally with online arbitrage, but as far as finding it in the thrift store, forget about it. At least here in Cincinnati, it almost never happens. I think we probably have only found it like maybe 2 or 3 other times max ever. It's a relatively expensive brand, but a lot of people like John Fluvog. We paid $6 for these, which is a crazy, incredible deal, because we should be able to sell these pretty easily for $130. So after fees and shipping, we should stand to profit about $100 on these women's John Fluvog Gladiator sandals. Now let's kind of like check out a bit of an overview here, a little bit of a short recap. So again, we had 11 pairs, and the total revenue for these 11 pairs this is an estimation, is $1,220. The total cost of goods is $131.50. The total estimated profit is $818.70. And then looking at the average is $110.91. The average acquisition cost is $11.95. And then that leaves us to the average profit of $74.43. Incredible week that was filled with some really nice finds, some rare, some pairs that we have not found for many years. I think it's going to pretty much wrap it up for this here, guys. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing if you found any value in this. It would be very much appreciated.